Hey guys, welcome to this video. This is Tito from Magis Inc. And right now I am with the #1 guy in the entire nation, the Solution Nation Smart Circle, in the Direct TV program. His name is Eddie Rodriguez, breaking all the records that is set out there. 315 apps, totally unbelievable, unheard of. But like I said, even if no one has done it before, that means it doesn't mean that it can't be done. But well, he proved something, to everyone, and I'm just honored and privileged to be interviewing him right now because, at the end of the day, this business is all about, learning from other people who has done it and who has been successful. And so, Eddie, welcome to this, interview. First of all, Eddie, maybe you can give us a quick background. How did you get started in this business?
I was actually personally recruited. My little brother is actually my promoting owner, and I was an internet marketing consultant prior to this. And I had a pretty well-paying job. I was making 40 grand plus commission. And to make a long story short, the company that I worked for went under. And I found myself in a position December 1st of 2010, looking for a job. I was in a situation where I had, my son, he was expecting Christmas. My wife, obviously we had to pay our bills, and I was in a tough situation. So, I turned down the position initially, when they tried to recruit me. But, fast forward 6 months, I'd gotten laid off, and, I needed work. So, I initially joined the business just looking to pay some bills. I didn't think too much of it. I didn't know about the opportunity. And I came on board, and initially what attracted me was $1,000 a week that I can make, in commissions. And I actually heard my first opportunity meeting, and I seen the guy that was running my office, and I was like, man, he's a sharp fellow, but I don't think he's any better than me. And if he can do it, and he's saying, in 6 months they're going to promote somebody, or I can get promoted, then obviously, why not give it a shot? Give my best effort. So I had the opportunity to actually move out to Northern California and help to launch the Costco program when it first started. And the Costco didn't roll out like we thought it would, and they locked us to, or they held us to 50 stores for about 2 years. And so I couldn't wait in the Bay, so they sent me to Houston, where I went from Costco back into like Sam's Club and Best Buy. I ran a market out there for 3 years, and then did such a big job out there that they were like, well, why don't we bring you back to Costco in Las Vegas, and I've been running the Las Vegas market ever since.
Wonderful, wonderful. And when you started in Las Vegas, you said, they brought you back. It didn't happen just in an instant.
No, it was a lot of ups and downs. With this business, the field teaches you everything that you need to know, as far as, in order to be successful, in management or whatnot. And it was definitely a process. A lot of times people like to look at my success and think it happened overnight. That's not the case. I definitely, developed and built and went through ups and downs, and built a team and lost a team, and had good times, had bad times, and had money and didn't have money. So, it's a process. But, at the end of the day, really, the people that make it in this business are just the people that don't quit, And so I think that's the really thing that helped me, is just, burning my boats and, sticking with it, and just believing that, all the efforts that I was putting forth were eventually going to pay off, and, they have.
Wonderful. And speaking of, burning the boats, if, this is your only option, probably, you're going to find to make it work.
Well, I mean, I definitely had options. I mean, don't get me wrong, I just never had a problem, holding a job or getting a job. But, then again, that's not really what I was looking for. I remember how I felt when I first got laid off, and it really, rubbed me the wrong way. Not so much that, I was without a job, but just the fact that, I was in a situation to where I was let go for something I personally didn't do. So like, I had no control over it. So I remember that feeling, and remembering, I wanted to put myself in a position to where I didn't have to worry about somebody else dictating whether or not I had a job. So, when they were talking about, oh man, you can get into management, own your own business, that really stood out to me. And so I just wanted to make sure I took advantage of that.
Wonderful. And speaking of management, a lot of guys watching this video right now, they're probably brand new.
Yeah.
They've been in the business for a couple of weeks, couple of months, or some maybe a year, or whatnot. My question is, there's certain steps. For example, you're account rep, and then becomes a supervisor, account manager, and then become an assistant director, and then obviously you reach the management level, which is the owner and director. But maybe brief background, what is the biggest challenge per level, and how did you overcome it?
Looking too far ahead. A lot of times people want instant gratification. So just understanding it's a process, and just whatever level that you're at, really focusing on that, and really what you need to develop, because every level you have to develop something personally. So trying to identify what it is that you have to develop at that level in order to get to the next level, but not looking too far ahead, just focusing on the right now. A lot of times people, they want instant gratification, or they may look at another leader in the office or somebody else doing well. They want to be where they want to be. And for me, coming into the business, I got promoted with another owner in Houston at the same time, and I didn't have as much success as he did when he first went out. And if I would have focused on his success, I probably wouldn't be here today. So just run your own race. Understand it's a process. Don't get impatient. Whether it takes 6 months, 8 months, a year, just do whatever you have to do to put yourself in position to, take advantage of this opportunity. And you gotta have, you gotta want it. A lot of times as managers, we preach the opportunity, and sometimes it falls on deaf ears, because not everybody wants the responsibility of the higher pay or whatever. But I can tell you, some of the things that this business has done for me. I just retired my mom. I came into this business with bad credit. I just paid off all my credit. Not only that, I bought a house. My wife hasn't had to work in the last year because I've been able to take care of her. She stays home with my child that we just have. Being able to dictate my own schedule. I've been able to, I made a lot of sacrifices initially. I invested a lot of time and effort, but now it's like it's all coming back because, I spent 5 years of my life like most people wouldn't, and now I'm living the rest of my life like most people can't. I coach my son's basketball team. I'm there when he gets off of school. I have money in the bank. I have financial freedom. I can do what I want. And not only that, I get a raise every time I help somebody, put them in a better situation. So, it's very beneficial. And I'm not a greedy guy. I don't need a whole lot of money. I'm not real flashy as far as I don't need the mansion on the hill or the gold chains or any of that crazy stuff. But the fact that I can tell my mom that, hey, you don't have to, because when we had our baby, it was a situation to where she couldn't come to my baby shower because she had to choose between coming to the baby shower or coming to the birth of my baby, because had she missed an extra day of work, she would have gotten fired. And that was the kind of the camel that broke, or the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was like, man, you just quit that job. You don't have to work anymore. I'm in a position now to where you don't have to worry about that. Somebody else is not going to tell me when my mom can come visit my family. So, it's just things that, the benefits. And you got to find something that appeals to you in the business that makes you want to work harder.
Making 50 grand a week is, so much different from.
Yeah, I come from humble beginnings, man. I come from humble beginnings, and it's crazy that I'm in a situation to where that's even possible.
Absolutely. And talking about, you've been in the business for a while. You've had your ups and downs. I want to talk about right now, really quickly. If you were to go back in time, when you were a brand new rep, and probably, as I told you, people will be watching this. What would you have done different, knowing what you know right now?
Nothing. Every experience that I went through, every high, every low, got me to where I'm at today. And I wouldn't do anything differently, honestly. I feel like everything that I went through, every challenge I overcame, every obstacle I faced, every time I fell short, I think all that taught me what was necessary for me to know to be successful. And honestly, if you're talking about the process, I think that had I networked a little bit more, that would have helped me along the way. But I think that, I did a lot of things good. There's probably some things I could have done better, but I think that, for the most part, you're never gonna have a perfect situation. You're gonna go through ups and downs, and I think that the biggest thing is just taking advantage of all the resources that the company provides for you to be successful. Really taking these meetings and utilizing the information they give to you to go back and apply it to obviously make your business successful. But all the stuff that I went through, is necessary. But I think the biggest thing, if you want to say one thing that I would say that I could have done better, was networking. Just picking up the phone, swallowing my pride. I'm a very prideful person, so I didn't want to pick up the phone, call somebody I didn't know, and hope that they had time to talk to me for 15 minutes. So, don't think like that. In this business, obviously now I get a lot of people that call me. I do my best to try to help people out when I can, but just not being afraid to pick up the phone and just learning from somebody else.
Amazing. And we're in Dallas, keys to success, with all the things that's happening right now. It's pretty awesome, with the merger of the AT&T and DirecTV. What are you most fired up about right now?
Man, there's so many things to be fired up about, man. Like right now, my biggest thing is just, I'm excited because I've got some really sharp people, on my crew and some of the offices that I manage. We've got some sharp individuals, so I'm excited to see how big our organization can grow this year.
Awesome. And if there's a brand new person watching this video right now, what would you advise?
Don't quit. Just don't quit. Like, all the obstacles and the challenges that you're going to be faced are meant to see what you're made of. Just don't quit. Just the only difference between me and anybody in this business is just I didn't quit. I have time. I've been here longer, but everybody has the same opportunity. So just stick with it. And you gotta commit to it. This business, as much as it's evolved and things have changed, 3 things will never change. One is that it's merit based. So you get out what you put in. You can't go to an $80 vending machine and put 80% in and expect to get $1 Coke. It doesn't work that way. It's the same thing with this business. If you want 100% out, you got to put 100% in. 2, there's no seniority, right? So it doesn't matter how long you've been here. The person and the other people in your office, they're not going to dictate how fast you grow. So you grow at your own rate, so you can pass up anybody in your office. Just put forth the effort. And 3, we promote from within. So it's never a situation where we'll bring a manager, from the outside, to manage you. Everybody started in the same spot. I started just like you. It's necessary. So just remember those 3 things. It's merit based. We promote from within, and it's 100%, or there's no seniority. Just put yourself in position and be able to take advantage of this opportunity.
With that being said, that's awesome wisdom out there. Thank you very much.
No
and
problem,
guys, we're gonna have more of these, so stay tuned.
Awesome.